Gigguk, yes, that Gigguk got GM2 using Golem Rune. So I got inspired to play it as well in my Grand Prix. Stay tuned to the end of the video for the deck list, but for now, let's get into the games and make sure to like the video and subscribe. It really, really does help out. So my first game was up against Swordcraft now, and I'm thinking about Swordcraft in rotation at the current moment in time. I'm thinking it's probably Rally. There were some experimentations with Neutral Sword earlier on, but Rally has sort of come out to be the better deck, because I honestly think that Twin Blader is the best card in the class right now. Any deck that doesn't run it is worse. So we have a pretty good opening hand though. Summoning Disaster, Golem Lord, Binding Ritual, and Sweet Defender Golem. Summoning Disaster on 2 is fantastic to get the Golem count up, and then we Golem Lord the turn after, plus Binding Ritual, being able to annoy the opponent if they play anything interesting. So it's nice. Sweet Defender Golem, we're not going to use it for 7. Pretty sure in this matchup it's not going to last that long, so just going to go ahead and use it for the early heal, the early proc of an Earthright, and a Golem. Getting early procs of Earthright is actually important in this build because this build runs Levi, so getting 7 Earthrights consumed for both Undying Witch and Levi are both relevant. Levi is just an additional bit of burst damage, which is quite nice. When your Golem Lords are just out of reach, you add Levi into the mix, and you deal damage that way. There's the Air, which is nice to see, but first of all, I want to use my Golem Lords to get the board down. And I'm not too scared about whether or not I'll have stack for the next turn, because I can always trade the Neophyte and then fuse into a Celestial Command, and then that'll give me 2 stack for a Golem Lord on turn 5. It's really important in this deck to always have 2 stacks on turn 5 just in case I feel like. Now they're pretty smart here. Sorry, I'm sick, so I'm having this little like sachet of throat ball. I don't know what it's called. But my family sent it to me and they're like, take this. Like, okay. Anyway, they're pretty smart because they played Chronos here to prevent my Golem Lord on 5, but honestly, it's not that relevant. One of the good things about this deck is that it doesn't really care about Chronos, because no matter what, whether you Golem Lord on 5 or you Golem Lord on 6 or you Golem Lord on 7, before you play the Golem Lord, you can still accelerate your Golem count. So even if they Chronos you, you can just spend your turn spamming Golems like I did there, and then your Golem Lord that comes out eventually is going to have more damage anyway. So it doesn't really matter. So Chronos is kind of a meme. But that Chronos and that Charlemagne does confirm to me that it's actually not Rally, it's neutral. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, this should be a free win. Not to sound too mean. But I'm much more scared of Rally than this. And then they kill off my Golem Lord, which means that my Air is now potentially active. It's at spell boost 4 right now, but if I play Mr. Bertrand, it's going to be active on a future turn. So I can Outdoors Mage. Yup. Mr. Bertrand. Yup. Golem Lord. Yup. Circle and Air for maximum damage. Woo! Even evolves to get the shield for insurance sake. Now I just land Golem Lord next turn and win. And Roland doesn't do anything to stop Golem Lord damage, so
That's it. I'm done.
it's pretty GG's from there. Next game was also against Rune, and I was really worried about a mirror, because if I have a bad hand and they have a good hand, I just lose. Well, I mean, that's true for a lot of things. But I think in hindsight, I should have dug harder for Golem Lord in the mulligan there. And yeah, that's basically, I think, my biggest mistake. Because, as you'll see, this game ends up becoming a disaster, as they get everything they need and I get nothing that I need. So, but hey, if the intent of the video was to show off the power of Golem Rune, this game is still relevant, right? But yeah, it's a pretty bad situation. I go for the aggressive play here. I'm just praying that I get a Familiar's Pact or a Golem Lord later. But
stand shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, their neophyte in the early game is boosting them. They got the Golem Lord. When I see that they have 2 Golem Lords, I'm like, I think it's over already. It's turn 3 and I think it's over, boys. Like, it's not looking good. And my Undying Witch is still unactive. Like, oh my god, it's just a disaster. So, do what I say and not what I do. Definitely mulligan more aggressively. I blundered it. I think you can see the writings on the wall already. Given, I mean, the only thing that could save me is a top deck Golem Lord. I didn't get it. Binding Ritual draws me. Not Golem Lord. I'm like, where's Familiar's Pact, please? No! Oh, absolute disastro. And it's like super GG. I have no way of even clearing that, so I'm like, yeah. I mean, I guess I can top deck with the Undying Witch, see if it's a Golem Lord. It's not. Alright, how deep is the Golem Lord? Let's find out. Very deep. So let that be a lesson. Don't get cocky. And make sure you mulligan appropriately. Man, watching this game back, I'm like, damn. 12 stack and nothing to show for it.
Stupidity leads to stagnation.
The worst misplay before the game even started, eh? And it's like super GG here. Double Golem War hits me in the face. Through the shield. Ouch. Well, after that loss, I felt that I had to lock in. Obviously, you need 4 wins to get to Group A in Grand Prix. Grand Prix. Don't make fun of me. I'm sick. Yeah, you legally have to be nice to me. So I got the Golem Lord, which is nice. And I decided to keep Fate's Hand in this mulligan because I had the summoning disaster and I felt like I could boost it early. They were emoting. Which is fine by me. An emoting opponent is a distracted opponent. Get him! Alright, summoning disaster to start boosting my Fate's Hand. We got the Golem Lord as well. Boost Fate's Hand too. One interesting thing about this list is that it doesn't run Crushing Rain. It runs Fate's Hand, and the supplemental damage, like I said, is Levi, which I think is much more effective than Crushing Rain. I think Crushing Rain is often a brick, right? You already have Fate's Hand that's potentially a brick. You don't want 2 of them, I think. So, Agile come out. When I see this, I'm like, okay, they definitely have the second one in hand. They're spending it for this.
Artifact awaken.
And playing a Spinaria with no way to kill it off means that I can kill it and they don't get an artifact out of it. Which is nice, but I don't think I end up doing that because I just want to advance my own game plan instead. And getting another summoning disaster is fantastic here. Now I have 3 stack and a Golem Lord and a Celestial Command. The only thing that could be better is if I draw air. So yep, as expected, they have the second Agile. And go ahead and evolve it on the evolve turn. Very nice. So one thing that I'm worried about in this matchup is the 10 burst from Dyne, but if I can find air, it's less of an issue. Of course, they could always ping me and then do the Dyne, but that makes their turn a little more awkward too. And I do end up finding the air here. I pre-evo the Golem Lord because I don't think that there's a efficient way for them to clear it. Like at 5 play points, even with Agile up and Retrofia, with only 5 cards in hand. If they Carnelia, I don't think they have any Ancients in the deck. Right? And oh no, I'm wrong. They have one. They have a few. I forgot about that. Fair enough. Alright, you got me there. But I still wanted to pre-evo the Golem Lord because I didn't think there was an efficient way for them to clear it. They would need another artifact here, and they ended up getting the Dyne with the Accelerate. So that hurt a little bit. So at this point I'm thinking maybe that pre-evo didn't work out. But it still forced them into a turn where they had to basically leave a board empty. And they don't get any tempo here. So I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on that play. I do end up clearing the Retrofia. And that is 1 Dyne down, so I don't have to worry about a 10 burst as much. But with an Avamia up, I'm thinking, how do I finish this game through their damage shield? This is a bit worrying. My hand is a little awkward, but the Familiars pack does save me here, and there's the Levi. With the Levi in hand, I see a way out. If I can just Levi plus air on a turn, that should just be lethal. So let's try and board lock him first. Is my thinking. As much as I can, anyway.
I just need a little on-the-job training.
Unfortunately, this does, like, with the outdoors mage damage, they can trade the Avamia. So I'm thinking, like, on hindsight, looking back at this game, maybe that was a mistake to play the outdoors mage. I should have just tanked the 4 damage to the face. I honestly think that that might be the better play. But I mean, the good news is, like, with no bodies on board for them to trade into right now. And they didn't kill off their own Avamia either. So I think I'm in a pretty okay position. And then air plus Levi should be GG. Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. Please. Huh? Wasn't Levi GG there? Oh wait, maybe Levi wasn't at 7? Oh, Levi? Okay, yeah. Levi was at 6 at that turn. Okay. You know what? Fair play past me. I was gonna roast you, but fair enough. This still ends up being okay. I mean, I'm slightly worried that I'll just die to, like, Rhino Blast here, but when I saw them play the Blue Seal, I'm like, whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I think they do end up getting 2 airstrikes here? Yep. And that's a bit of a worry, obviously.
Are you running out of blood already?
But Levi is lethal.
This is a mother's
Levi is super lethal. And I'm, like, very happy to have included the 1-of in my deck. Because it's just so good. I mean, I could have also, like, done the Crimson first. That would have been a bit more efficient, but I think I'm sick. I wanted to see big number. That's my excuse for everything. I'm sick. You have to be nice to me legally. Up against Forestcraft, I, like, honestly, when I fight Forestcraft, I kind of, like, mentally check out. Because I feel like if the Magachio or the Castelle gets the perfect turns that they are looking for, it feels so hopeless. I know that it isn't actually as hopeless as it feels, but it feels hopeless. But anyway, the good news is we got the Golem Lord and a Fate's Hand and 2 airs, so we can start boosting. The bad news is we don't have any Earthrights to make this Golem Lord work, which puts me in a weird situation. But thankfully for me, they do double Frostborn. When I saw this, I was flabbergasted. I was befuddled. I was positively scratching my head. I thought this was an incredibly awkward play from them, because spending 2 Frostborns just as bodies, I'm thinking, do they have another Frostborn? Do they know that they're gonna get Plumeria Fun Fact? And spending a Fun Fact just for a body too, I was so confused by this. I did not understand it. So anyway, and for Outdoors Mage Summoning Disaster, I didn't play the Golem Lord Accelerate because I want to have it for the turn 5, just in case. They did get the Plumeria, and they are playing Castelle here, and I'm thinking that has to be Nature's Guidance. If that isn't Nature's Guidance, then I have no idea what they're doing, because this is, like, such a weird line of play. And it wasn't, so I'm like, okay, I'll just Golem Lord and clear this. You're down 1 Castelle, 2 Frostborns, you have 1 Fun Fact in hand, and, you know, 1 mystery card, and then plus your draw. But this seems like so strong for me at this moment in time. I don't know why they did what they did. Asuka Shiori does end up drawing them some cards, though, which is good for them. And Lily, when I saw this, I wept a little bit. Because my airs in hand are now completely worthless, but still, very strange early game from the Forestcraft of this game. But they ended up being able to survive here with that Lily play. Darn you, Lily! The bane of my existence, honestly. And of a lot of people. I don't really have any plays, so I just play Fates. Because the Airs don't do anything, right? Fates hand, go face, and just pray for better days. This has Storm now, and out comes the Great Fairy Dragon Fuse. Fusing... Was that a fuse on Lily? That baffled me. Because Lily is one of your best cards in this matchup, but I guess thinking that I didn't have the Golem Lord that past turn, he's like, okay, it's fine. I can just get rid of it. Fair enough.
This is the world outside the forest.
And the Salvia Panther to bounce. Yup. Yup. I'll just be honest with you right now. I'm commentating kinda by the seat of my pants here. I was in bed, sick, playing this game. Or rather, I was at my desk, sick, playing this game. And I legitimately don't remember it. So this is like new to me. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Hey! Familiars pack getting the Golem Lord. Very nice, very nice. And I do end up playing the Air here for the damage shield because I am deathly afraid of getting just like burst down. I'm only at 6 defense, despite their very strange early game. So let's just that I remember. I remember playing Air at some point for a Golem and feeling very sad about it. But just trying to live here, man. It's important. Great Fairy Dragon gets another fairy on board. The Sapling Steward. And the May. And I live. It doesn't get through my damage shield. Thank God. Now I'm thinking, do I have lethal? If I Air, resurrect a Golem, and then Golem Lord here. It's not lethal, but it's a lot of damage. And it's a lot of wards. I even evolved the ward to keep myself alive. Trying to anyway. And now, with Binding Ritual and Levi active, I have a 9 damage from hand with Levi. So if I don't die here and they don't heal, I can win with Levi. They're trying to clear though. I still have that damage shield up, thankfully. Uh-oh. Stinky. Oh, we make it through! We make it through! And even, like, I don't even have to use Levi. I can just end the turn. But it was sort of my insurance policy. Because they weren't even able to clear the Golem Lord, which is very thankful. Well, I'm thankful for, is what I mean to say. Now we're at 3 wins, 1 loss. I have to win this if I want to make it to the Group A. And, against Shadow, Helio is probably the most competitive deck, but I don't expect a lot of people on ladder or in Grand Prix to be playing Helio because it's very, very execution heavy. So I'm thinking it's probably Last Words. If not Last Words, then Midrange with the new Zebet and stuff. And I have a very good hand here with a turn 1 and a turn 2 into a Golem Lord, and we just keep going from there. When I saw this Slayer of the Dead come out on 2, I'm like, bro, you're gonna get cooked. You're about to get eaten alive. And we got an AR 2 to start boosting. Oh my god. Slayer of the Dead just sits there doing nothing. I saw this crystallized Odile. I'm like, okay, pretty much confirms that it's the mid-range deck. Top deck Binding. Nope. No place for you. No place for you. Alright. Go face again. Now my Golem Lord has to do less work, frankly. They have the Evolve, which means that they're going to be able to clear a lot here. But even if they clear a lot, I just Golem Lord and then I clear back and deal massive damage to face. So it's just a fantastic time all around for me. And they're only able to clear one other guy. The Slayer of the Dead. Killing off the Lock Slayer of the Dead. Oh, it's so tragic, man. Golem Lord come out. At this point, I'm like, I've got this in the bag. If I lose this, it'll be embarrassing for me. I even aggressively evolved the Clay Golem here because I'm just trying to end the game as fast as possible at this point. Because now, even if they full clear, I can just Levi and kill them with 9 damage. Like, Levi is such a strong card. And that's why we have him as one of in this. They do end up killing the Golem Lord, which is strong, but it's not enough.
Annoying.
And I don't even need to use the Levi. Just go face. Fastest game ever. So here's the deck list. I ripped it from competitive player Suyu. Like I mentioned in the games, no Crushing Rain. We have the one of Levi instead for supplemental damage, and you can see, while we didn't get to play him, if we were in a situation where they did clear our boards, this guy would have just ended the game point blank, period. And then of course the main engine is still generating Earth Sigils to use on your Golem Lord, and then Golem Lord dealing massive amounts of damage, and then resurrecting the Golem Lord with air. The air damage shield is also very relevant. We have the Fate's Hand for a draw, one Sweet Defender Golem for if the games go really long, or if you want to go early game with some heal against aggro, and then it also helps you proc for Levi and Undying Witch, and then 2 Gruine for wide wards. Celestial Command helps you fuse for additional Earth Sigils. What you'd expect, generate golems, hit them in the face with burn, let's get it. I think it's a very attractive deck to play on ladder. It's got a simple game plan to follow. It catches people off guard with the surprise cards. I mean, hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Gigguk got GM2. All right, well, that's it for this video. See you.